So 9 on the grid at the minute. Little power outing for our first night light series, and a couple of backouts and a couple of disconnects, so it's really hassled us a little bit. So we've got Sherbet Gandhi sitting on pole, Kembo behind in second, then we've got Chili Chill sitting in third. Good outing by him. Lecky lucky to get his podium, well, his spot there in fourth, so he's a bit further up. These guys all have full fuel loads, all have cold tyres, all have cold brakes, need to watch it into the first corner. Muff Dog fifth, Murph, Etiel in sixth place there, they didn't get a lap in either. Uniclark disappointing out in the GT 40 there, he didn't get a lap in. John Boy ran out of fuel, his engineers promising this time around they'll get it right. Iron leading the back of the field away, I guess, in that sense. New to this round, glad to have him on board. Bream reports, yep, that is from Belgium, is Iron, so it's good to know, the more you know. So Gandhi will be leading the field away once we start to get green lighted. We would normally do a rolling start for race 2, but with the racetrack being the way it is, we're just going to get straight into it. That's why we did the one lap. So here we go, underway. Very shortly. Looks like 78 litres in the field, 77 litres in the COZ, 79 litres. Lucky. But yeah, you've got to take a pit stop, a mandatory pit stop in this one, boys. At least once, but I imagine you will need to pit at least once. Looks like John Boy's got a bit of extra fuel on there, 84 litres, but as I'm not racing, I don't know the fuel loads. He doesn't want to run out again, so the engineers may be overcompensating. Maybe a longer stop. Here we go, we've got green light. We're on board with Sherbet Gandhi. Let's see what sort of start he gets in the Ferrari with Kembo and the CO7 at the side of. Green light here for our feature race at Robbins Racing. It looks like Chili Chill's bogged down on the line, and it was Muff Dog in the GT40 that got the much better drive out there. Kembo gets swamped through there as well, but looks like it's all right. Can the boys all keep it clean in the background now? We're on board with Lecky. John Boy, does he get it stopped? No, he doesn't. Whacks Lecky from behind. John Boy gonna have to take it steady through there and definitely have Lecky in front of him. Lecky into fourth now, gets a better exit through these as the boys all sort themselves out. It's good to see that they've all managed to get round there somewhat. We're taking a look back at Chili Chills, the big loser from that one, bogged down at the start and really lost out, so with time and a mission to make up his home race, he's going to want a better outing, so we'll back up with Etiel. It looks like we've got Kembo leading the field away now. These guys very close to each other, obviously, into the Nürburgring GP. Looks like we've got someone in the background. Off we have. That was Muff Dog very wide. He's going to have to let the car through us get going again. Good to see. Came out, but he's managed to keep himself on the back of the field. Now, what's happening with Sherbet Gandhi? He's really suffered there. Into 8th. Chili Chills. Muff Dog, he's going to be chasing down Murph. Looks like we've got some more contact there. John Boy. Is that John Boy into third? It bloody is. There's Lecky behind now, so John Boy holding third position now, driving from Bristol. With our British driver again, Lecky from Manchester, chasing him down on the inside. But they touch each other. It looked like Lecky touched the back end of John Boy, and they both spin. Looks like Muff Dog really into it. So these boys, yeah, there was no intention there. You boys have to just get going. Watch yourself, John Boy, with the CO7. There was no intention there, but that was just racing. Good to see that you all understand that. John Boy, Scott going again, lost some positions. Muff Dog really aggressive through there at the minute. I've got to say, needs to calm down. Definitely on the from 4th to 8th. John Boy very wide through that bit. We'll go on board with Uniclark now. These boys at the front. So Uniclark chasing down Etiel in 3rd. Not sure where Etiel started, but I don't think it was on the podium. On the back of Iron, who started at the back of the grid. So he's had such a fantastic start, our Belgian driver there. But he's got a very experienced online racer behind him in Etiel, who is showing him the inside as they come up to the Quiddle-Latcher. Hopefully these boys see each other. Iron does notice Etiel on the inside of him. Coming for the Quiddle-Latcher for the flat plug. Let's see. Yeah. I think... Oh, does Etiel get it wrong through there? It looked like for a second Iron may have come off the throttle a little bit to let him through, and Etiel doesn't spot Iron as he rejoins the track. Uniclark all the while is rubbing his hands at these lot racing, squabbling over position because he's managing to catch him, but these boys are going to prove difficult to overtake one another on this stretch of the track anyway as they come up to the Arnberg section. Really do need to Just keep it consistent. Now, it looks like Etiel was very, very wide. Does he manage to keep it going? He does. He was up on 2 wheels for a second, but Iron's got the run on him through here. Etiel goes defensive. It's good that he can cover the line. He can make one move to defend a position. Cannot pull back across on the line, though, so something to keep in mind. Iron hassling the back end of Etiel. Uniclark on the end of these, followed by Sherbet Gandhi, who managed to get it going again. Chili Chills also in the background there, so these boys all very close together. Will stick on board with Iron chasing down Etiel and doing a good job this time around. In the background, Uniclark all sorts of wide with Sherbet Gandhi, maybe having to go on the brakes a little bit to avoid an accident. Where are these boys on track? They're coming through the Anderson Foot. Yeah, they're coming through the Calenard corner section of the track here, so boys keeping it clean. Sherbet Gandhi having a look on the outside there of Iron. Oh no, sorry, my bad. It was Sherbet Gandhi, but he was looking on the outside of Uniclark. My bad. Sorry, Uniclark now being hassled from the back. Now have to go defensive into that one by Iron. And Uniclark's sideways. We've got a yellow flag up into the Kennel Head section of track. Our drivers need to be aware. Will Lecky manage to get through? He does on track. Lecky keeping it clean into 6. Of course, lost a few places there. Was rear-ended at the start of the race. Now, how's the lads at the back doing? Has John Boy managed to get it going again? He has. There's a 4 or 5 second gap to Uniclark, so hopefully John can get going again. Where's Muff Dog in all this? Struggling so much with the back end of that GT40. Got back on board with Lecky, hunting Chili Chills down. Chili Chill was sat in a podium spot at the start of this qualifying race. This is his home race, so he's going to want to do well here. He's got the home support and all the family in pit road supporting him. Go on board with Chili Chills, chasing down Sherbet Gandhi in front. Can see Etiel as well in that camera shot, so these boys only covered by a couple of seconds. All the while, Kenbo, our American driver, has pulled out an 8-second gap to Etiel, while these boys are all fighting between themselves. Iron really close now on Etiel as they navigate the X-Mule section of the track, I believe. No, they may be a bit further on through the Bergswerk and the Keshelken corners. Really difficult place to pass on track. Chili Chills sticking with Sherbet Gandhi, no mean feat. Chili Chills' first race with Rubbins Racing on a wheel, so good to see him doing well. John Boy has caught up with Uniclark, so Uniclark's made a mistake. John Boy into 7th, but very wide there again, so I think that's Uniclark back through, possibly. Still fighting. John Boy on the grass, so Uniclark is through, definitely. Oh, John Boy get it stopped. Good to see. Chili Chills now. Looks like he's caught up. Nope. Concertina effect with the through the carousel. A lot of people's favourite bit of track this. Go on board with Sherbet Gandhi as he chases down Iron, who came from the back of the grid, our Belgian driver. Sherbet Gandhi shows him the inside there. Just trying to get a reaction out of him. Looks like he may have done a little bit there. As we have a little look back there, it looks like John Boy and Uniclark have made a bit of contact coming through the carousel. So Uniclark through on track. John's engineers on track, apologising for the late breaking move. Chili Chills looking ahead at Sherbet Gandhi and Iron, who look like they're definitely got more pace in them Ferraris at the minute, as Sherbet Gandhi goes very sideways, but then so did Iron there. The boy's losing a lot of grip. Chili Chills rubbing his hands behind, liking what he sees, keeping that CO7 looks a lot more stable than the Ferraris in front. However, it may just be the Ferraris a bit looser in setups, but Chili Chills has caught up onto the back of these guys here. Sherbet Gandhi, our British driver from Somerset. Ooh, as he gets very wide through there, as he come on gamble with him. Chili Chills may have had to back off a little bit on the accelerator there. He did. It's good to see the boys actually taking note of one and each other on track, because it's very easy to keep your foot in it in the heat at the moment, but there is not many places to pass here as they're coming up to the Pillargarten bit of the track. Coming up into, let's say, Sector 3, so they'll be coming up on the Schwalben-Schwan corner and through onto the Gallenkop, onto the main straight, which is the Dottinger Hope. These boys so close to each other. We'll go on board with Chili Chills and have a look what this gap looks like with the fighting in front. So he's got Sherbet Gandhi and Iron in front, but Iron all sorts of sideways there. He was on the grass. Chili Chills a better line through there on the outside with Sherbet Gandhi. Sherbet Gandhi steam, he does. Chili Chills got the position on track, but Sherbet Gandhi, no. Oh, as if these boys slow each other down. Sherbet Gandhi's having a fight back. These boys must see each other through the Gallenkop. They do. Let's go on board with the cockpit view from Sherbet Gandhi. Let's see him in the draft now of Chili Chills as they're coming up the Dottinger Ho straight. Once they get up to speed here, they'll be doing roughly between 170 and 180, coming into this slight left-hander, which is the Tiergarten. But at 170, 180 miles per hour, Chili Chill goes defensive. It is very much a corner. As he comes out the draft there, loses a mile per hour. What's Chili Chill's up? Let's have a look. Yeah, that Ferrari's pulled away now. Can Chili Chill's fight back? Looks like that Ferrari's got the legs. It does indeed. We'll go trackside. Hopefully they get it slowed down in time. These boys, all the while, seeing Lecky in the background there. Iron very wide. With Sherbet Gandhi on the outside of him coming up the start finish. Sherbet Gandhi's through, definitely on track. Good move by Sherbet Gandhi. Moves into a podium spot. Chili Chills onto the gravel there. Looks like he got stuck a little bit. So at the minute we have Kembo leading the pack away. Looks like he may have had to slow down or something to that effect. They're navigating the Nürburgring section of the track. He has 7 seconds to Etiel behind. Also on the same stretch of track. Followed by Sherbet Gandhi and Iron in very close proximity, within a second of each other. Chili Chills in the background. Looks like he lost a bit of time to him at the end of the lap, especially with his little off there. We're getting word of Muff Dog and Uniclark very close to each other down the start finish. We're going to enter the GP section of the track. There's Muff's in the draft of Uniclark. Uniclark must see him on the inside. Doesn't turn in. Muff Dog a lot later on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Looks like he's been struggling all day with that car, with actual turning in. Looks like he's let Uniclark go. Yes, Uniclark through. Iron now. Is he sticking with Sherbet Gandhi? Sherbet Gandhi's managed to pull out a 1 second gap there, so maybe the concertina effect. No, definitely has pulled out a second there, so looks like Chili Chill's on a lap 2. He's 2 seconds behind this little fight here. So Iron, let's go on board with him as he chases down Sherbet Gandhi. That windscreen, all sorts of broken. As they're exiting the last little bit of the Nürburgring combined little section of track to the chicane section here, and they'll be coming up on the Hattensbach section of track. Chili Chills, let's go trackside with these boys. Muff Dog and Uniclark seem to be going at it again. We'll have a keep on board with these boys. Now, let's see. Iron, I think, has managed to pull within a second of Sherbet Gandhi again, so he's managed to get the hammer down a little better. As Chili Chills manages to pull it within a second, but that'll be the concertina effect. It'll go back up. Nope. Chili has managed to keep within a second, so he's definitely in the draft. Applying the brakes a little earlier there, counting for being in the draft there. Uniclark and Muff Dog and their own little internal battle, but it looks like Murph has really got these set up with that one a little sideways. He's our British driver from Warrington, does like the Formula Series and does like the Nürburgring, so should be strong in that section of track. Yeah, he's kind of new to the league racing, so it's good to have him on board, and we welcome him to the Rubbings Racing family and crew. We'll go back on board with Chili Chills. Car goes very light at the top of that section, with the Quiddlebatcher section, with the Plout. Very difficult to pronounce, but Etiel and Kembo within a second of each other. The first place got Kembo had like 7 or 8 seconds on Etiel, and Sherbet Gandhi with what a run through there, but on the brakes a little earlier, spots that Etiel's lost a bit of traction. So these boys, first, second and third, all within a second of each other, and with that for company, Iron and Chili Chill. So, top 5 separated by 3 seconds. Then a little gap back to Lecky, who's struggling a tiny bit with downforce. John Boy in a good point scoring position of 7th. Good to see him still out on tracks. Good to see him still going, our driver from Bristol. Keeping on board with Chili Chills. So we'll have a look at Sherbet Gandhi actually, who's hassling Etiel. Does look like he got a bit sideways through there, having to correct the steering. These boys are doing a fantastic job. Etiel, 2nd place. Late entry into tonight's race, didn't get too much practice done. They're all up on their best time deltas, but they will be with the standing start being taken out of the way now. We'll take a look back. Chili Chills with the chase cam. He's hunting down Iron in front. This section of track really, really tricky. Which bit are they in there? The Callahan section? Nope, they're coming through the Amberg, Footshaw. I always get mixed up with them. I think they're just on the Anderson Foos section, coming up into the Callahan section of track. But Chili Chill's really pulling on Iron now. Let's take a look at Sherbet Gandhi. We'll go trackside Etiel. So Kempoy lost a lot of time through on the last lap there, so he'll want to get his head down again. I don't think having Etiel and Sherbet Gandhi behind him will bother him too much, but they're within a second now, so the draft will come into effect. We'll take a look back and see if Chili Chills managed to stay on him. Yep, Iron in front still, holding 4th position, our Belgian driver, but quick through this section of track. I think they're through the X-Mule and through the Bergwerk section. Oh, as I say that, Chili Chills takes iron for position on track, so into fourth. Sherbet Gandhi very close to Etiel at the minute. If they come through the Bergwerk section. Great to see them. This is a fast-flowing section now. We'll go on board with Sherbet Gandhi as he tries to weigh up Etiel, see where that Aston Martin, the DB9, DB7 is it's going to be passable, but these boys all know there are places on track where you can't pass and there are places that you can. All sensible enough, but it does look like that Aston Martin is tuned for top speed. It's pretty quick. Sherbet Gandhi doing a good job to keep it within the lines and to hassle Etiel at the same time, dropping it through into fifth there. We'll go on board with Etiel, seems a bit closer to Kembo. This is our fight for first place. Etiel very wide there, may have lost a tiny bit of traction. Looks like Kembo's taking a tighter line coming up onto the carousel section of track, so they'll be through the steel strike corner. Yep, coming on board with Etiel through the carousel. Looks like Kembo's wide of the carousel, so Etiel's going to be on the inside. Let's have a look back at Sherbet Gandhi's position. Looks like Etiel's got the position done. Kembo's not want to give it up though, but Etiel's on track. Sherbet Gandhi's got a lot of overspeed, backs off there, shows the level experience these guys has as Kembo gets all sorts of sideways there. Hopefully he manages to get it back on track. He does, and he hopefully catches the draft. So Etiel into first in the Aston Martin DB9. Sherbet Gandhi for company, definitely. Kembo has managed to get it going again. Good to see our driver from America. He was leading the race there for a second. Well, for a full bloody lap and a half, like, but he got it twisted up. But thing to note, Kembo's definitely got the pace, and he'll definitely want to weigh these two up now as we take a look at on board with Sherbet Gandhi, our British driver from Somerset. Let's have a look at physically on board of him. Like you can see Etiel in front now, leading the pack in the Aston Martin. Quick check back at Kembo. He's losing sight a tiny bit of these guys, but it's not going to bother him too much. To go at this point. Chili Chills, gotta say, very much in contention, keeping it within the track limits there. Good to see, but he's only a couple of seconds off these guys, so any mistakes they make, he's going to be all over him. Bit of a gap back to Lecky, but Lecky has pulled some time on Chili Chills, so Lecky on a better lap. Lecky definitely going for it. As he exits the Brunchen section of track, coming through the Plage Garden bit. Sorry to anybody watching, the name pronunciations will be wrong, but do my best. As we take a look back at Sherbet Gandhi, I think catching Etiel on the draft a little bit. Etiel a little wider through that section of track. We'll actually go on board with Sherbet Gandhi. Have a look what the draft and the speed's like of these cars as we give them a second as they exit the Swalchback. Coming through the Gallon Cop section now. Difficult, want to get the exit right coming onto the Dollar, so we'll keep on board with Sherbet and see if we can get the draft of the Aston Martin. Looks like he does have a run on him at the minute, but whether he's going to catch him, I'm not too sure before they come up to the Tiergarten, set a bit of track. Alright, okay, really in the draft now coming up. Etiel goes defensive, we'll go trackside. 2 wheels on the grass trying to make the move now. Etiel goes defensive. Can he get the move done? It does look like Sherbet Gandhi's managed to get the move done before they come into the GP section of the track. It's good to see another position change there. So Sherbet Gandhi getting the move done. Etiel very wide on the exit of there. We'll take a look back at Lek, what's happening with him. He's caught up on the back of him, so let's have a look. On board now. He's maxed out at 175 in that GT40, so staying in the draft. Does look like he's catching it. We'll go trackside. That GT40 revving its bollocks off. Uniclark on the back end now. It looks like he's catching John by up a little bit as they're coming up the start-finish, the Dottinger Hope. Go back and have a look at what Kembo's up to. He's definitely caught up to Etiel now. That fight for second place very much on. Good to see them giving each other the room, giving each other the look, just trying to get a reaction out of one another. See if they could delay the steering a little bit or get them to get on the brakes and think they're going to make the move done. All psychological, of course, like these boys very experienced, so should be giving each other the room to race at the very least. Kembo doing a better job this time round as he comes into the GP section. On the back end of Etiel, just not wanting to lose sight. These boys still within 2 seconds of the lead of this race. Right, Kembo. He was our race leader. 2 laps in. It's about the little break there, boys. Coming up into the final bit of the GP track. Coming up onto the Haschenbach section. Coming into the Nordschleife bit. I'd like to thank everybody on YouTube for joining us. For your love and support. It's been fantastic the way the community is growing and supporting one another. I'd like to... Looks like Lecky's had a bit of a spin as he caught up with Iron. He did have a spin. Lecky doing so well there, so Iron's gonna pull a gap now on Lecky. Lecky gets back going again though. Long old race yet. Top 3 separated by a second. Come on, but how can you make this stuff up? This is great to see. We'll follow Sherbet Gandhi, who looks like he got a bad line through there. Etiel really hassling the back end of him. Oh, it's Sherbet Gandhi got very wide. Etiel very wide. So Kembo is through. Come round? No? Do you want to come round? No? Okay. No problem. Sorry, boys. Just navigating life a little bit there. So Sherbet Gandhi into first place. Kembo in second, following him there. Kembo with bags of patience. So Sherbet Gandhi's going to have to keep it clean. Looks like Kembo got a good run through there. Top 3 separated by a second. Brilliant, brilliant, fantastic racing. They come up through that section. The handling comes very light. Kembo will... Oh, looks like Sherbet Gandhi lost the back end of the car. He did. Thankful there that Kembo and Etiel saw it coming, but will Sherbet Gandhi lose it? No, he's managed to get it going again. So we'll see if he can pull on the back of him. But Kendo inherits the lead of the race again for the second time tonight. Etiel with company though. Sherbet Gandhi lost 3 seconds there. Lucky not to lose a hell of a lot more. Chili Chill sitting in a good position in 4th. Iron 5th. Lecky 6th. John Boy 7th. Uniclark back of the grid 8th. Not too far behind John Boy though, Uniclark. He keeps his foot down. Kembo now looks like he pulled a second on Etiel through that section track. So the CO7 definitely proven to be a fast car through that section. Kembo, our American driver, 42 years old, racing project cars for over 2 years. Again, very experienced driver. Etiel sticking with him though, our late entry into the Rubbings Racing feature and sprint race. So it's good to see. New guy, new lad to the community, doing well out there in a great looking car too. Sherbet Gandhi must be kicking himself after that mistake of leading. Really wants to try and get back on the arse end of him again. Etiel will go on board with him, take a look at what Kembo's up to and where they're quicker. They'll be weighing each other up at this point. Fuel load, 56 litres for Etiel, Kembo 49. So that CO7 looks to be using a little more fuel. We'll go trackside. Good line through Kembo through there, manages to keep a little bit of speed. We'll go on board with Etiel as he tries and chase down Kembo as they come through the... Yes, I believe they've navigated the Calendar section. They're way past that yet. Coming through the X-Mule section of track. This is... Here looks like the Bergs work. It is. So this will be a very fast, flowy section, bit of track now. So we'll see if Etiel can keep in the draft of that CO7 in front of him. We'll go trackside. Kembo pulled out a 10th there. So it does look like that CO7 is quick. Etiel in the draft. Looks like he's losing time in the draft as well. So whether he's fully in the draft, I'm not too sure. These boys having to slow down, maybe knock it back a gear there as they're coming up through... where are they into? Nearly coming into the Steel Shrek corner, I believe. Or coming up on the carousel anyway. We'll go on board with Etiel as he chases him down. Sherbet Gandhi getting closer. That's what the gap looks like at the minute. Lap 3 of our feature race as we come into the carousel, going on board with Etiel as he chases down Kembo, our resident American driver. Kembo managing to actually keep it on the inside of the carousel this time round. Been struggling a little bit with it on the outside. Looks like Etiel's definitely got a better pace through that section of track as they exit the carousel up the Hoat section of track. Hoat, sorry. I will get the name right eventually. Etiel with bags of pace. Sherbet Gandhi still 3 seconds behind this, so not losing but not gaining any time. Gotta say at the minute that Etiel does have the pace in him. Whether Kembo's just dictating the pace at the minute, because it's hard to pass on track. And Kembo very wide. It looks like ATL's going to have the position. He does. Kembo very wise though, letting ATL through before he rejoined the track. So Kembo now sitting behind. Do you know, I say that ATL very wide will get a slowdown for that. So I think Kembo will actually enjoy sitting behind ATL more than he'd actually lead it. Given the driver profile, looks like Kembo's trying to put a bit of heat into those tyres, maybe get a bit of dust and a bit of crap off the tyres he'd maybe picked up from that little excursion there. Sherbet Gandhi, meanwhile, in the background while these boys having a little fight, within a second of them, doing a bit better now. Sherbet Gandhi, our British driver from Somerset, 24-year-old, racing on project cars for over a year. Doesn't like the track, nor the car, but you'd never notice the way he's going. So these boys, Kembo, ATL, Sherbet Gandhi, the class of the field at the minute. 3 laps down. We've got on board with our race leader, ATL. Very limited track information and driver profile because of the late entry there. Oh, he gets it sideways. No, he gets it sideways as they come through, which can only be the Schwanschwanke section of track. So Sherbet Gandhi into second. Kembo leads the race. Let's go on board with Sherbet Gandhi. Can he get the draft of that CO7 now as we're coming up the Dottingjaho corner, the straight essentially? See what sort of speed he manages to do. Kembo trying to come out the draft a little bit, but not making it too difficult for Sherbet Gandhi behind. Looks like the CO7 has the pace, but Sherbet Gandhi definitely got the draft now. 172. Kembo onto the grass. He's going to lose some momentum there, definitely, as they enter the Tiergarten section. This slight kink left, but at 170, 180s is definitely a turn. So Sherbet Gandhi now gaining on Kembo. Made a little mistake, has to be said. Had a little off. ATL dropped a lot of time in that little spin. I think a lot of other drivers have been a lot more fortunate than ATL had the little spin there. Sherbet Gandhi on the inside, on the outside, sorry, coming up the start finish into the GP. Kembo into the pit. So Kembo first to blink, maybe putting fuel on, changing tyres. So Sherbet Gandhi inherits the lead of this race. So we're going to see gaps now as someone else dives into the pit there. I believe that's ATL. It is. Hopefully these boys manage to get it stopped in time. We've got no penalties. And as I say that, I've looked Kembo with a 10-second penalty. Something to keep in mind. ATL into the pit. Where's Chili Chills in this? Coming across the start finish. He will inherit second place for the time being. So these boys out of source of minutes. You know, they have some of them taken the pit stop. So we'll have to see once the boys have come around again where their positions are. But on track at the minute, Sherbet Gandhi, massive gap back to Chili Chills, who of course just jumped ATL and Kembo. We'll have a look into the field going. Kembo, it looks like Kembo may have had to wait. No, Kembo going now. ATL's first out the pit. I think Kembo may have been first in as well. So we're looking at ATL, who's on 49 litres of fuel. We'll just have to take a look back at Kembo. 55, definitely took a bit of fuel. Iron through there, our Belgian driver, late entry on the back end of ATL. Hopefully they keep it clean, and they didn't. Iron not managing to get it stopped in time. Slight nudge there to the back of ATL. ATL's not going to like that as they come through the GP section. Iron with his first yellow flag of the night for contact under braking. Rubbing is racing, we get that, but can we keep it clean? Thank you, boys, as we navigate the GP section. Yep, got the track mechanics on there for ATL, saying there was not a lot in that really. I'm just getting it wrong on the brakes, looks like. So ATL very gracious there, as he's on the back end of Iron now. It's definitely one I'm going to make that spot up. John Boy and Uniclark into the pit at this point. Just have a quick look back. Hopefully we don't miss this swap position, but Uniclark still stationary, so is John Boy at this point. Back aboard with ATL. Coming up towards the last bit of the Nürburgring section of this track, the GP. Boys doing a good job to keep it clean. So these boys will be coming up on the Hasenbach section of the track, or the Huron Drain section of the track. The corner there, that'll start them off the Nordschleife bit of the track. Obviously, most times of the year, the Nordschleife's open to people to come and go and enjoy track days. I mean, since its construction, 1925, 1927, the Nordschleife has enjoyed a reputation as the most terrifying and merciless route through the FDL forest. An English journalist who visited the Nordschleife during the opening race even concluded that it seems as if it's a reeling drunken giant has been sent out to determine the route. The Formula 1 pilots, Sir John Young and Jackie Stewart, after a three-time world champion, was so impressed by the circuit that he gave it the name which will probably never lose, the Green Hell. Racing and winning on Nordschleife has always been a very special feeling for racing drivers here, because of the track is one of the most demanding and challenging in the world. It's got tricky corners, treacherous crests, steep inclines and gradients. It's constantly changing road surfaces, demanding great skill from each and every driver on the grid to just to keep four wheels on the track, let alone get around it. AEL makes the move. We missed that one. Kembo looks like he's joined onto the back of him. No, AEL still behind Iron, but Kembo definitely catching AEL. We'll go on board as they lose a little bit of, it goes a bit flighty up the top of there as they lose a bit of traction. Good to see Kembo managing to keep it within the lines in the draft. AEL looks very sideways. He looks like a bit wider. Kembo of a tighter line through that section of track. Where was that? Is it the Arnberg section for the Footshaw? It is. Love this little section. Coming up onto the Anderfuss. Kembo all on the back end of that Aston Martin now. Go with the Aston Martin, gets sideways. That's going to be Kembo through. See how many other spots he loses. Hopefully he can keep it pointing in the right direction. He didn't. Kembo now very wide himself there with chasing down Iron. Because you've got to take into account that Kembo has pitted. The lads at the back still doing a terrific job. Hats off to Lecky, John and Uni Clark for still keeping it going here. Kembo losing a bit of it looks like he's struggling a tiny bit with the draft of Iron there, but Iron looks like he's very sideways as well, so it looks like Kembo, all he's got to do there is sit and study Iron's line a bit. Iron, a late entry to the Rhythm Racing League from Belgium. It's good to have him on board. Kembo, very experienced driver from the USA, hunting him down, and they both run wide there. I think Kembo may be a victim of Iron's line and the draft. Go on board with these guys now. Slight teardrop, yeah, as they come through the Exmule Wordberg section. Is that section of track? Yeah, it is. I know it wasn't. It's through the Callard and through the Exmule. Now they're coming up onto it. My bad. So Kembo definitely hassling Iron now. It's gone board. He may have even got the line through there. He's on the left-hand side of Iron. Hopefully Iron spotted him. We'll go trackside with these boys, side by side, as they're coming up through the X-Mule into the Wordberg, or the Bergwerk section. Kembo thinking better of it, backs out of it. Good driving by these boys. Iron goes defensive. Kembo looks a little better through the corners for the tight stuff. Iron doing a good job at the minute. Also late replacement, sitting in third, but Kembo looks like stalking down that position at the minute. Great to see these boys fighting on track, especially for the last podium spot. We've gone board with Kembo. May have had to get out of it a little bit there. He did. Good driving by these boys as they come through the... whereabouts is that? Sorry, yeah, that's through the clash end. And they'll be coming up onto the steel Shrek. Bit of the track as Kembo gets very wide, loses a lot of momentum. Go trackside. Iron now released a little bit. A little bit of pressure now. Not on Iron's shoulders. He doesn't have that CO7 as close now, so let's see... Without that little bit of pressure, whether Iron can keep that gap. Sat around of 3 seconds now. Sherbet Gandhi with not much run time at the minute. Our pole sitter. Sherbet Gandhi, our British driver from Somerset. 24-year-old. Racing on project for over a year. Doesn't like the tracker car, and I've said it twice. The position he's in. Maybe want to reconsider that thought process. Doing a good job at navigating the Whipperman section of track. He'll be coming up on the Brunch and the Plough's Garden very shortly. As I say that, he is exiting the Plough's Garden, so he'll be coming up on the Schwalbench one. And 25 seconds behind him is Chili Chill, our home race driver for tonight, our German driver. We have a yellow flag. Kembo apparently has lost it near the carousel in the X. Is that near there? Yep, he's got track to point that out. Take a look back at Iron. Etiel has definitely inherited 4th place there. Kembo dropping back a little bit, was fighting over podium spots. Etiel was a little wide through that DB9. Looks like it's glued together at the minute. We'll take a look back. Where's Lecky in all of this? Just coming round the Hoarch into the Whipperman. Good to see that GT4 is still going. Still very much in this race. Pit stops to be decided and taken 44 litres of fuel on the car there. Lecky, our British driver from Manchester. He's been racing for over a year, and his favourite class is the touring car. He's very much a pro when it comes to the touring car class. Favourite of the Rubbins Racing League drivers. He likes Laguna Seca, but he's not a fan of this particular track. He loves the track either way, but not the combined version of it. John Boy, sitting in 7th. Good point spot at the minute for John Boy. So he navigates the whole section of track for the Whipperman. It's good to see driver there from Bristol, still going strong, still very... Sherbert Gandhi into the pit. He's just entered it, so Chili Chill now, he comes through the Dottinger Ho straight, see if Sherbert Gandhi can keep the position on track, I guess. So Sherbert Gandhi still into the pit, hasn't got boxed yet. On board with Chili Chills, let's have a look what it looks like from his perspective into the chase cam as he comes up onto the Nürburgring section of the track. Sherbert Gandhi now into the pit, now having fuel put in. Chili Chills into the pit too, right, so no position change there. Let's keep a track side now with these guys. Sherbert Gandhi's got going again. Where's Iron? He's only just coming up onto the Tiergarten, little left, so these boys are going to keep the position. Sherbert Gandhi looks like he's out. It is. Chili Chills also on his way in, just so Sherbert Gandhi way out on track at the minute. Where's Iron? Just entering the GP section as he goes very, very wide, our driver from Belgium. Oh, yeah, got it stopped with yellow flag. Yeah, Etiel just avoiding that, thank God. That driver reset there, not a safe one by any means, but the no contact as Iron takes his pit stop. Where's Chili Chills in all this? Still stationary. Iron taking his pit stop. Where's Kemba now? Just come through the Tiergarten. He's going to enter this section of track. Any of these guys still in the pit? Yep, Chili Chills has got going again. Iron just entering it, so where's Chili Chills? Where's Kembo? Is Kembo going to be able to get the position done? We'll look trackside. Chili Chills still in the pit. Kembo across the start finish, surely he's going to have the momentum. Chili Chills got going again, so these guys going to be close on track. Yep, Chili Chills has managed to just get it out in front. You've got to get your hats off to the mechanics there, actually. They definitely splashed a little less as he goes very wide there. He may even get a slowdown for that one. Iron's still in the pit, so... Ken back on the fight for the podium spots. Has Iron got going again? Yep, I think he has. So we'll stick on board with Kembo as he hunts down. Not going to want to give up that podium spot. Of course, it's his home race. He has family and friends here as he goes very sideways, gets it all sorts of wrong. Kembo through. Chili Chills, has he managed to get it going again? We haven't got a great front. Yep, the onboard is saying he's going again. Kembo into third. This is just sat behind, studying the line, as he's already said. Very patient driver. Where's Iron in all this? Iron and Lecky now. Lecky with some company and some racing. Lecky into 5th position. Iron coming out of the pit. Yep, it was indeed. We're getting word through from the mechanics that that was a pit lane change there. So good outing by Lecky's team and pit crew there to get him out in front of Iron. But Iron's not going to want to give that 5th place up, and he's very much sticking with that GT40. The GT40 with no spoiler on. It's not going to affect him too much tonight. We're on mechanical damage only, with the Nürburgring being as tricky as it is. Absolutely. Radio there that Lecky even need the rear wing. It'd probably be more effective if he had it in the seat next to him, apparently. Iron sticking with him. Looks like it's 2 seconds on our Delta. It pulls to 3 and tricks me. These boys coming up on the last little bit of the Nürburgring. They're on lap 5. There'll be another lap after this, and that's it for our feature race. I'm so glad that Uniclark, John Boy have kept it on track. Uniclark within 4 seconds of John. So that fight's still all over. Still to go. We'll go trackside with Lecky, alright, late entry into this feature race and into the sprint. Driver from Manchester, 34 years old, doing a grand old job there. Our touring car pro driver. Have a look at Iron, see what that gap looks like with the chase cam. It's not that much at all as these boys come onto the Nordschleife through the hatch and back section of track. Trying to keep it within a second of each other, really, but yeah, Iron will be struggling a little bit with the downforce of the front end of that Ferrari. Not that you could tell at all, because he seems to have it all in check at the minute. As I say, that runs very wide. So Lecky now on the run up to the Quiddle-Batcher corner, into the Flugsplat. Let's just, I'd say go on board, but the windscreen may be battered. It is. Let's go on the roofs. Let's have a shot of Lecky coming through this section of track. Still keeps it in 6th, doesn't knock it back to help it pull through. Different lines, different strokes, different folks. There's a helicopter shot apparently there. Not just a helicopter in the background. But Iron, where is he? Lecky's dropped him. 4 seconds. Iron must have made a mistake or had a slowdown. So Lecky holding 5th. Good to see as they enter the Armberg corner. Lecky very wide onto the gravel. It looks like Iron's going to have the position, possibly. No, not close enough. Lecky may have a slowdown for that one, not too sure. But Iron has caught up on the back of him, so that mistake of Iron's sort of nullifying itself. We will go on board with Iron as he chases down Lecky. That GT40 is not going to be easy to catch on the straights. There's definitely not a lot of room for overtaking here as Iron takes a very interesting line through there. Lecky and Iron very wide, but Lecky looks like he got the worst of it. He's got going again though. These boys very sideways as they enter what looks to be the Armberg and Footshaw section of the track. It is indeed, so a little position change there, but both drivers making mistakes, so I won't take too much away from that. Ken holding 3rd. A further 14-15 seconds down the road is Etiel. Lecky now struggling with the back end of that thing, but has managed to pull a second. We'll take a look at Sherbet Gandhi and what is he up to. We'll go trackside as he tries to correct the steering there, as he is the class of the field coming through the X-Mule bit of the track. And again, I apologise to any German people watching that I'm absolutely slaughtering your famous Nordschleife track with my bad pronunciation and grammar. I will do my best as he enters the Bergwerk corner now, coming through the Cashel end, getting himself focused for the carousel that he'll be coming up on very soon. We'll go on board with Sherbet Gandhi as he navigates it, see what sort of line he takes round the carousel. But does put 2 wheels on the inside there, not the greatest, but good exit there, gets the power on. Good to see. Where is Etiel in this? Just coming up, I think, onto the carousel. Yeah, he is. We'll just keep on board with him as he comes to the carousel. We'll see what sort of line he takes through here. 29 litres on board. Etiel's been good through this section. Runs a little bit more speed through there, about 60, 62. Not a best exit though. Where's Kembo in this? He's just coming up through the steel strut corner now. So we'll see how our American driver handles this. Sitting in 3rd at the minute. Has pitted, 36 litres on board. Kembo's been going wide here all day, but yeah, again, managing to get it slowed down. If anything, gets it a little bit squiggly on the exit there, losing a bit of time. Let's have a look where Chili Chills is. So he's coming up onto a track he has struggled with. I've seen him sideways here a couple of times. Lot tidier that time around the carousel. Let's go on board with Iron. Smash windscreen. Not on that section of track yet. I think they're coming through the Cashen. Yep. Now he's coming up on the Steelberg corner. So we will go on board with Iron as he takes the carousel. We'll see what sort of lines these boys are taking. He's got Leck behind him. Iron with a smash windscreen there. Iron looks very tight. Lecky in the GT40 behind. Gets 2 wheels on the grass. Has to correct the steering. Manages to save it. Go trackside. Lecky finding it difficult to follow in the draft. Iron a little further up the road now. Has pulled a few seconds on Lecky. About 3 or 4. Sherbet Gandhi, where is he at the minute? He's coming through the Swalbenschwan corner. He'll be fully focused on the Gallenkop corner now, trying to get the exit just right for the Dottingham, but nobody for company. Etiel 18 seconds up the road. Maybe a pit stop in it, I'm not sure. That could just be Sherbet Gandhi outright in pace. He's one of our resident drivers from Somerset in both leagues. A lot of commitment as he comes up the long ass straight here, the Dottingham. See what sort of lap speed he's doing up here. As he hits 170, no problems. Just hitting the red line now. See what more that's got in it. A couple of cars topping out at about 175, 176. Does certainly look like Sherbet Gandhi's opted for a little more downforce. Etiel comes up onto the Dottingham now. He will have no sight of Sherbet Gandhi in front of him. Let's see what sort of speed he's down the exit of here. He's doing 170s now, just coming up onto the Tiergarten. So yeah, a little less speed than the Ferrari in front, but looks better in certain sections of the track. Kembo on the exit of Gallenkop onto the Dottingham. See what sort of speed that CO7's got in it. Coming up on 160, 170 now. Still not in the red line yet, so a bit more top end from Kembo, I think. But struggling, 170s. We've seen faster down here as he comes into the Tiergarten. The slight left kink, but at 170 it's a corner. Chili Chills, bit less down the road. 170s also coming up onto the same section of track, but looks like Kembo's got a good 12-second gap on him there. But any mistake by these guys, they're ready to pounce. 172, 173, yeah. Chili Chills, our German driver, definitely got that thing set up for a straight line speed, as we've got Sherbet Gandhi on the last lap of the race, navigating for the last time the Nürburgring GP section. Now this race isn't over. People are prone to fucking moves. Sherbet Gandhi also with 15 litres of fuel on board, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he's timed that one right with the fuel loads, and his mechanics of engineers have managed to navigate that properly. We seem to have fighting at the back of the grid. We've got Uniclark gaining on John Boy, it looks like. Yep, John Boy in front. John Boy wants to hold on to that 7th plate. Bit of a gap to Lecky in front, so as they're coming up onto the straight now, yeah, John Boy a bit wide through there, so we'll take a look at Uniclark and his line. Hopefully clean through there, so you might be able to see a bit of draft in here. Certainly a second in it as they navigate the Gallencop corner. So watching on board with Uniclark now as he chases down John Boy, our driver from Bristol. He's going to be very aware that he's got Uniclark in the draft. John Boy not making it easy to follow in the draft, not by any sense of the word, but Uniclark seems struggling on top end. Is at 168 now. Let's take a quick look at John Boy, who gets on the grass. He's going to lose some momentum. 166. Looks like Uniclark's going to have the momentum, but not by much. These boys very, very fast coming up into the Tiergarten. Hopefully they keep it clean between the pair of them. Have a good last lap race. Keep on board these two just as they're coming up onto the Nürburgring section of the track. And we are, of course, looking at Uniclark, our British driver, 39 years old. He's been racing for Project Cars 2 years now, private class, GTE. As they got sideways, the pair of them, hopefully they can keep it going again. I'm not too sure, I was looking at notes there, start finish, the boys keep it clean, lads. Boys getting it all wrong through that section of track, but I'm sure these two are going to give us a good show for the last time round. They're going to go, let's have a look in front now. Lecky, 3 seconds to Iron. Iron coming up on the last bit of the Nürburgring section of track, and we'll have a look a little further forward. Chili Chills, while we're saying that, John Boy must have had a little off a little bit there, struggling again. Still holding good points because of the turnout for this one. Chili Chills navigating, well, it looks like he's coming through Arnberg, yeah, through that section of track, or at least up to it. Nope, my bad. He was coming up on the, yeah, he's not even at the quiddle batch yet, so sorry about that, guys. Right. Back on board with Kembo, who has a big gap to ATL in front. He's got sideways. Kembo's got sideways. We've got yellow flags, so Chili Chills may even catch a little bit up here. Let's see where he is. Let's go on board with the chase camera. Does he see Kembo now? Yeah, Kembo's got going again. So there is a fight for our podium spot here. There is a massive fight for it. These boys are going to give it all she's got on the last lap. Hopefully keep it clean. We've fight for a third place. John Boy and Uniclark also very close to each other, so Kembo very experienced. He knows going to know where to place that car to make it hard for Chili behind. Chili Chills a bit harder onto the brakes there, locking up as they navigate the Arnberg section of track, I believe they're at. Yep. Kembo looks like he's managed to get his head down again, get his concentration back. Coming through the foot shirt to the Anderson first. Now this is tricky. Will the boys get it right here? They do. It's good to see. We've got a bit of driving back there. Lecky close to Iron, so Iron must have made a mistake. Lecky within a second of him. We'll keep an eye on that. John Boy and Uniclark pretty close together, but Lecky and Iron racing. And then we've got Chili, who's may have lost a tiny bit of time there to Kembo, I believe. Kembo managing to pull out a second. This race still not over yet, quite a considerable bit of distance to go. ATL seems to have gained a little bit. Has Sherbet Gandhi maybe made a mistake somewhere on track? Let's have a look now with our race winner at the minute as he never... Oh, very wide coming through the words, the steel shank, sorry, coming up towards the carousel. We'll have a look what's... Oh no, he's not on the carousel, he's nowhere near that. Sorry boys, he's coming for the Bergswork corner. Coming onto the Cascan, so a very fast bit of track. We'll have a look back at what Uniclark's up to. Hassling John Boy now, coming through up to the Quiddlebatchet section of track. That 488 is screaming through that section. Good to see these boys very close, giving each other the room to race. That GT40's got a lot of pace now. John Boy looks like he went defensive. Looks like Uniclark might have had to get out the gas a little bit there. John Boy leading them. They need to keep it clean, these boys. The pass on track needs to be clean as John Boy takes a weird line through that one he has on the track. Goes defensive into the Armsburg. We've got a spin back here as well. John Boy's going to have to give that position to Uniclark. He does. It's good to see. It looks like Kemba and Chili Chill into first. Something's going on with these boys. Chili Chills and Kemba swapping places here. Looks like Chili Chills inherited third place, but I believe Kemba has a 10-second grid penalty too. I don't know where he picked that up. So, but the guy behind him, Iron, also a 10-second penalty. So Ken's going to hold third at the very least, but can he get it going again? 6 seconds in it. Lecky now and Iron very close to each other on track. So is John Boy and Uniclark. We'll stick on board with Lecky. Seems to be struggling now. British driver from Manchester. Coming through the X-Mule section onto the Bergswork. John having a look ahead. We'll take a look on board with him. Not at the cockpit. Very wide and very too early into that corner there, but does manage to pull it back round. Let's go on trackside now with Lecky, who seems to have caught on the back end of him. We'll have a look at the roof cam, see if he can draft him a little bit as they come through this very fast section of track. The Cashel Len. They're going to come up on the Steel Shrek afterwards and coming up to the carousel. So Lecky on the inside. Does Iron see the move? He does. These boys giving each other the room. Very good to see. We'll go trackside so we can see if Iron's given the position, but can Lecky keep it within the track? He does. If anything, Iron a little wide behind, so this is still a fight on for fifth here. Lecky doing a good job. Board with Iron as he tries to chase down in front. We'll have a quick look at Lecky's line into the carousel. Very wide compared to Iron, who's going to have the inside. Iron goes very wide, probably the draft. Downforce effect to the car in front. We'll go trackside as Iron does try to chase down that fifth position. Uniclark swapping positions with John Boy. John Boy back through again, maybe a mistake there. These boys coming up through the Hoant section of track. Lecky very wide. Both of them losing the back end of the car. Iron keeps it going. Lecky, great save by him. Keeps it going in the right direction, but Iron into fifth now. Has done a good job so far as our Belgian driver to keep it going. Lecky's not going to want to keep that position though. He's going to want to try and fight back as they come through the Whipperman and Edgeback section of track. Lecky very wide. Let's take a look back at Uniclark. Uniclark and John Boy close on track, but I have to say we're going to jump on board with Sherbet Gandhi coming through the Dot into the Tiergarten. He's not put a foot wrong at all as he comes up to the start finish. This will be a race win for Sherbet Gandhi, our British driver from Somerset, 24 years old. Done a grand job tonight. Well done, Sherbet Gandhi. Deserving winner of our feature race. Of course, missing a few guys, but doesn't take anything away from what the guy's done today. Nice job. Crosses the line home in first. Etienne, late runner to the grid, but finishes up in second. A great point scoring position. Fantastic job by the guy in that Aston Martin. So Chili Chill looks like he's going to have that third position at his home Grand Prix. Yeah, Kemba quite away from him. We'll stick on board and check out what Iron's up to, because this looks like where the fight is, but I'm just going to check Chili Chills out as he's coming up on the Tiergarten. Chili Chills, this is his home race, our German driver. He is, of course, from Bonn, 32 years old, on his home race with his family and friends and support in the pit lane. Is he going to bring it home in a podium spot? Be fantastic to see in his first race with his new G29 Logitech steering wheel actually get a podium spot. Great point scoring position. Chili Chills coming up across the line to finish third. Gotta say, hats off to him. He's beating a very experienced Kemba behind him, who's also going to finish off in a good position. Our driver from America, thank you for sticking with us, Kemba. Great job by him. What's going on with Lecky? Lecky just trying to get out the way of Iron's draft. Take a look back. Yeah, it looks like Lecky's got a bit of a move. Yeah, he's got a 2-second gap there. Iron's not really getting the draft at the minute from him, or really any improvement. Can Lecky keep it clean into this section of track? He will have cemented fifth place if he just keeps it clean through here. Can he do it? Looks like he runs a little wide there, loses a little momentum, eyeing a little better through that section, but the GT40 very fast on the straight, so Lecky brings it home in 5th place. Our driver from Manchester, good racing, eyeing closely followed behind the late entry to the Rubbins Racing League, our Belgian driver. Let's have a look a little further back here at John Boy and Uni Clark. Looks like John Boy might have the position done as he comes up the Dottinger Hoe straight. Let's take a look back at Uni Clark. He can see John Boy in front, but John Boy getting way out the way of the draft there, trying to pull, but he may have lost a little bit of speed. So John Boy looks like he's going to keep that 7th position. He's fought hard for it. The car looks an absolute bloody nightmare the whole entire way. Just coming up onto the Tiergarten section of track. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. I'd love to thank everybody as part of the Rubbins Racing community and team for supporting this league and supporting and taking the time as John gets very wide. But managed to keep it on track. As long as he can keep it pointing in the right direction, he should have 7th place. Cubs brings it home with half a Ferrari in the GTE class. Good showing from our driver from Bristol. Good to have him on the grid. Uni Clark following up there. Also our British driver, just like the GTEs. Great racing, boys. Thank you so much for taking part and racing with us tonight, taking the time out of your day. I can't thank you all enough. You're all fantastic for supporting us, especially on the Discord and the team. Thank you, everybody. I hope to get it edited up as soon as possible, and I'll have the standings on you for tomorrow, 100%. From all of us here at Rubbins Racing, a lot of love to our community, and peace. Thank you.